Good morning, hello and welcome. This is Tim, I'm Tim, and this is TimBatSea. Snow's got me all messed up here. Okay, so we are in Perth Amboy, Anchorage, and we had orders to go to one dock, and we were supposed to be in there at 5 in the morning, and I'll kind of show you here what we're doing. So we're here, right here, and we need to go up here underneath the outer bridge. Oops, that's not what we want. Maybe I do this with the mouse, it'll work a little better. There we go. We'll come up here, come around in here. We thought we were going here, and now they say we're going here. Somebody was in our spot there, so we couldn't go there, but now say we go right here, so that's where we're going to go. You can see the guys are shoveling their way out to the capstan over there, the windlass, where they're going to haul up the anchor. We got this big heavy snow last night, and usually something that's kind of fun on a lot of these barges and is that depending on the product, snow sometimes is not an issue. Well, if you look over here, you can see all the snow on the barge, so it's definitely a problem here, and that's because we've been running ethanol back and forth, and ethanol is not a heated product. In other words, if we were moving 6 oil or bunkers or that sort of stuff, they usually have to heat that up to like 120, 140 degrees Fahrenheit just to move it. And so in order to do that, the decks are never that hot because the decks are within, there's an air gap. It's a double hull boat, and the air between the outside hull and the inside of the tank has 3 feet of air around it, and that acts as insulation. But it's still enough heat leaks out, and obviously heat rises, so everything goes to the top. And usually on boats that have heated cargo, the decks are usually relatively clear, and it's not like they have to melt the snow off. The decks are warm so that when the snow hits it, it just goes to the snow turns to water and runs right off. So anyway, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to shut the camera off because we're just waiting. I don't know if you can see the ship way up over here, but he's still coming around, and he's got a good 8 minutes before he gets to us. So I'm going to shut the camera off here, and I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, the guys have one more layer to go, or one more shot to go, I should say. Not layer. If you hear us saying how many shots, for those not familiar with the maritime word, a shot is 90 feet. The ship, you can see, just is going by now. And, perfect timing on all counts.
We're starting to pull her off the bottom now.
Very good.
Security call, the Alexander is inbound, Breakfast 20 Beacon, motor stretch and push gear for weak sharp first Amboy Alexander.
Traffic from the Anacostia.
Anacostia, go ahead.
We're heaved up and getting ready to get underway.
Roger. Panuccia's at Shell T1 on initial, going to be northbound, TimBatSea.
Very good, thank you. All right, that's good news. Let me know when you see chain, Chief.
It's going to be soon. Give me just a second.
All right. What I'm saying there is that there's a chain. I don't know.
All right, I got the thimble and the first of the chain on deck.
Very good. So there's a big chain leader that holds the weight of the wire down, and then there's a wire that we use for the rest of the road. So, and away we go. We'll call it 0900 underway. It's been blowing really hard the last few days, and right now it's... Hopefully that will drop.
We're going to be trying to spin this anchor, but we'll keep it off the bottom.
Okay, you want me to stop?
No, you're good.
All right. So, right now it's showing the wind is going to be off the dock. But by the time I get up there, hopefully the land will break some of that, because a light barge, putting it to the dock, sometimes it's difficult to get it up there. But especially with the snow on the dock, the line handlers won't be as agile as they normally are. It's funny, when I make these silly videos, I hear myself and I realize I've been watching a lot of...
Anchor's in the sled. We're locking it down.
All right, good job. Thank you. Bring her up to speed a little more. But anyway, in listening to myself try to talk to you guys, I realize that I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos with Australians, and they always seem to end all their sentences on an up note. You know, they're always like, okay, so here we go. I don't consciously do it, and then when I make these videos and I'm narrating, it's like, oh man, I'm talking like an Australian. But we got a bunch of people down there in Australia that watch us, so, and a bunch of patrons too, so love you Australian guys up there. Incidentally, here's my cheap plug. If any of you have the desire or would like to become a patron, your patronage is very much appreciated and helps the channel. I've been having some people complain about the audio, and so I've been trying to get that better. So hopefully we have some things that are improving, but being a member of our Patreon crew gives you other benefits. You get early access to the videos, ad-free, and I also try to do I try to do it once a week, but sometimes it's every other week depending on how busy we are, but I try to do Patreon-only videos just for patrons, and I kind of have a behind-the-scenes thing, and that's kind of fun. But the biggest reward you'll get by joining the Patreon team is knowing that you're doing something good and helping out a good cause. Come on over. Very good, understood. Thank you. All right, so the two guys are working their way back, and we are headed in. All right, we're doing 7.5 knots. We're fighting the tide, which is just what we want. When we go into a dock, we usually like to oppose the tide. A lot of people, if it's a dock that's a tricky dock, sometimes we like to go in at slack water, where there is, that window of no tide. But most docks, we usually like to have a little bit of water that opposes us. It helps us move laterally back and forth. But when we have a tide, a fair tide behind us, it makes things a little bit more complicated. I don't mean to say that it can't be done. It's just that instead of driving up to the dock, you usually go by it and then back against the tide to the dock. But in this case, I think the only thing we're going to have to worry about is the wind blowing off the dock. Now I see those flags up there moving a little bit more and more, so hopefully, and if this was a loaded barge, that wouldn't be an issue at all. But because it's a light barge, it moves around quite a bit. So we're doing 7.4 knots. I'm coming left because I had come right to get into the channel. Now I'm in the channel. Now I'm just following it. Comes over here and then sneaks around over towards the bridge up there on the right. I think you guys usually like to just see the docking part, so hopefully I'll remember to go in when I edit this and speed things up for you. My friends always tell me that I should insert Benny Hill music when I speed things up. I always thought that would be really funny. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be one of those songs I can use without having a copyright strike against me. All right, so we have some outbound traffic here, and he's just coming out off the dock, and he's going to be southbound, so he's going to be coming at us. And you can see there's a green buoy up there that I'm going to try to get really close to give him as much room as I can. It's kind of funny because I guess he's going to go all the way around. All right, so that's going to help us out. He's going to do 270 degrees instead of 90. So that's probably going to be all right. Thought he was going to go the other way. We'll make this work. How about you, Chief?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're getting close to the dock here.
Port side, starboard side.
Port side, and I've called to make sure that there's somebody out there to catch a line for you, but because of the snow, I don't think anyone's going to be real quick. There's just a little bit of wind that's going to be blowing me off the dock, so we're going to try to get a line and get to the dock, and then we'll worry about getting in position later.
Okay, I'm heading out.
All right, very good. It's funny, he did say he was southbound, because I said I thought he was going northbound. He said, no, he's going southbound. But he sure is pointing towards the north.
Yeah, I'm going to head go out a little bit here and let you do your thing, and then I'll spin around.
You are a gentleman, sir. Thank you so much.
Well, you have an assist, or you're on your own?
No, I'm on my own. Hopefully we can do something with this wind.
Pilot boat Yankee, Robert Berry on 13.
Okay, so I guess he is going to be southbound, but he just giving us more room because he's a gentleman. Told you, those guys are good over there. I like those guys. So you can see a big unit straight ahead of me. Of course, the unit I was talking about is right on the right-hand side. But straight ahead of me is a great big ATB, and that's in the north berth. We're going to the south berth, and this buoy right here is right in the wrong spot. And it's marking something for ships. I think there's 23 feet of water underneath there, which is about 10 more feet of water than I really need, with a light barge. And so unfortunately, it's just a kind of a pain in the butt right now, but I keep reminding myself if it was easy, everyone would do it, right? Okay, we're doing 4.3 knots. I'm going to even speed up a little bit faster here. Try to get out of this guy's way a little sooner. Like I say, he's been being very good to me. Didn't have to do that at all. Alright, so I'm starting to lose sight of the buoy that's on my port side there, on the left-hand side. But as it comes down around there, we should be getting towards the pivot point of the barge. So as I come left, it should give us more and more room, hopefully. But the tide we're working against the tide, so we could be falling down on it. Oh, just starting to see it now. I got tons of room. Alright, so I'm coming hard left. Well, maybe not hard left, but I'm starting to come left. Doing 4.9 knots. You can see the tide working against the buoy here on the left-hand side. See the green buoy there? You can see a little bit of tide working against it. So that tide is going to help me out where the wind, actually the wind is kind of, well, it says it's 12 knots up there, but I see the snow seems to be falling relatively slow, straight down. So that's a good sign. Anyway, now I'm aimed at the dock that I want to get to. Unfortunately, I'm aimed right at the manifold. So now I'm going to slow down because I'm by the buoy. I'm going to keep coming over this way and then come right real hard and hopefully get right up there. It's like I said, now I'm doing 4.9 knots, which is a lot faster than I want to. So I'm going to go all stop. And remember, when I go all stop, I'm bleeding off the energy in the barge. Unfortunately, it means that my steering, I have a lot less water going by the rudders to steer with. So, for instance, I want to come left, so I'm hard left as I can go. But since the engines aren't in gear, there isn't a whole lot of water that's forcing us over that way. So we're really kind of staying straight. So I would suggest that I should not believe my eyes, but believe the instruments. And the instruments are saying that there's 12 knots of wind right off the dock. See, I keep looking at those flags up there. They don't seem to be moving too badly. But anyway, I'm sure we'll make it work. So I'm still hard left right now. I'm going to turn 13 down, not off, but just down, just because we don't need to listen to it as much anymore. All right, Chief, how far off are we straight ahead?
Straight ahead, I'd say we're still over 80, maybe close to 100.
All right, very good. So I'm still just coasting. We're down to 2.3 knots. We've been coasting the whole time, putting the rudder hard right now. And once again, I don't have a lot of steerage because I'm not in gear. And so by doing this, I'm trying to bring the barge to the right to get it flatter with the dock, but also push my stern over because we're getting the bow up to the dock, but we're not getting the stern over there. So now we're down to 2 knots. I'm going to come ahead, clutch ahead on my starboard engine, and by having the wheel all the way to starboard and my engine ahead to starboard, we still will continue to turn to starboard, but it will push us more from the stern over. So the stern of the tug is going to go to the port, to the left. Unfortunately, I'm way high.
100 wide, maybe a little more, 120.
All right. Now, because we're further off than...
movement on the dock, so that's a good thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, when we get up there, like I say, I'm probably going to want something to hold us there. So, right now, I'm just kind of walking us over. We're doing 1.6 ahead, and the rudder is at about 15 degrees to starboard, and I'm doing a left-hand twist, but you can see we're turning right. Sorry about the camera shaking all around there, but that's what happens with cavitation. So right now what I'm going to try to do is the bow might be coming out a little bit, but I'm getting the stern flat, because my idea is that if I can get over there more, I can use some of the tide to push me over there as well. Remember, the tide's coming against us. Unfortunately, as I've said in other videos, the tide doesn't affect a light barge like a loaded one. You know, that it's more of the wind. So, I don't know how much help I'm going to get. So now we're just slowly creeping over that way. It says 1.5 knots, and actually my predictor line is showing us right on target. So as much as I want to change things, I really should keep things going the way they're going, because it seems to be working. Now, if the stern starts to outrun the bow, I just ease the rudder more to midship. And Chief, I'm guessing that unit ahead of us, when we get in position, we're going to have plenty of room on that unit ahead of us, right?
I'm finding out now, hold on.
So our predictor line is still showing us going the right direction.
Yeah, we'll have enough room, Tim. No lines to go to that furthest dolphin, from what I understand. I think the bow line goes to that second one back, so that'll leave us enough room.
Very good, very good. All right, I see the man on the dock that we're talking about. Sliding over all the time. Everything's working good. The other tug is turned around. He's ready to go downtown. Or down south, I should say. Everything's working out. Now, there's a temptation to slam this thing in there and get it over with, but everything's working, so as long as the wind doesn't blow, we should do this just fine.
Going to get our spring line where that gentleman's standing on the dock.
Finest kind. All right, so I'm behind the dock, in other words, but I do that on purpose so that as we get close, I can drive up to the dock. Now I'm still doing this right-hand twist, but I want to flatten out more, so I've got
probably
hard right.
60 foot off right now.
60 foot off, understood. Okay, so I'm trying to slow down the bow and speed up the stern, but unfortunately that's not really working. So I am going to go and give us a right-hand twist. Just to get us moving that way. Alright, now I go, I'll stop and start going back to my walking again.
20, but I see there's some westbounders. What are their times?
Polling 10:15, Thomas. 10:30.
Still hard right rudder. And now my problem was that I backed too much.
150 ahead to the first spring.
Very good. I'm just going to get a little flatter and then hopefully drive up to it. Okay, so since the bow was coming out at a good clip, I couldn't get it to come out. Now it's coming out really well. I'm eased my rudder to a midship, and I'm still doing that left-hand twist. We're moving ahead at 1.2 knots. My predictor line is straight ahead, which is not what I want. I want it to be like at 45 degrees. So now I'm going hard right to swing the stern over.
45 off the dock.
45 off the dock. Okay, she's coming over good, so I'm easing my rudder to 15 degrees. Hard right is like 35 degrees. And I'm going to start backing a little harder because I'm picking up speed. I'm at 1.8 knots. I want to slow down. So now we're backing. Everything is looking okay. My predictor line's at 45 degrees, but I've checked everything up, so I got to continue to either slow down my backing engine or come harder ahead on my ahead engine. Now I'm down to 1 knot, but it's at 45 degrees, so that's good. We're
about 30 miles.
All right, and how much farther ahead do I got to come?
About another 35 feet to come ahead, we'll be abreast of our bollard.
Beautiful. Coming ahead 35 feet. All right, so we're getting her over there. Let's see if I can turn that a little bit for you. There we go. Maybe there's a better view for you. Okay, so I want to flatten out now. We're getting in real tight, so I've got the rudder hard over, 35 degrees.
20
To
wide
start
on
with.
the bow, and as long as you don't go backwards, we'll have coverage on this third pad up here.
Okay, very good. I might have stalled out the bow just because I'm trying to flatten out right now. So if the bow stalls out or comes out a little bit, know that it's part of the plan.
Roger.
Well, we got about 20 feet to come ahead.
15 feet ahead, we'll be abreast.
All right, 15 feet ahead.
15
So,
feet, we'll put out his line, but then we're going to need to go a little bit more.
yeah, no problem. So what I do is I just reducing my stern engine, so I start
Now
creeping
15
ahead.
wide off the pad. We're looking about 25 off on the stern.
Okay, very good. Now I'm going to ease my rudder down to 20 degrees because I want that bow to start coming in now. Because I think he said we were 15 feet off, and I've got about 15 feet back here in the stern. The stern's still swinging
12
in.
wide off the bow side.
12 wide. So I think that's pretty much flat right there. So now I'm going to bring the rudder down to 10 degrees. 10
First line's on the dock, not made off yet.
All right. Should I keep creeping ahead, or are we good?
You check your headway. We're coming forward of it now.
Okay, understood. All right, so now I'm backing real hard. There, that checked up the headway.
All right, bow's coming in nice, 6 foot wide, closing easy.
Okay. Very good. So what I'm doing now is I put the rudder hard to starboard to try to slow the bow down and get the stern to come over and have us land a little flatter.
4 foot to go.
He's got 4 foot. That's about what I got here. I'm going to go all
Stern
stop.
looks like it's about 8 or 10 wide.
Okay, you're 8 or 10 wide up in the bow?
That's on the stern. Bow's got 2 foot to go.
Very good. I'm looking at the stern. It looks like I got 2 foot over here.
First line's made off. Just work ahead easy. We're going to touch the pad here at about 6 inches.
All right, I think we landed flat because I'm just touching the pad now.
Beautiful.
All right.
First line's coming tight now. We haven't stopped yet, though.
All right. Do you want me to? You're slacking it, right?
Negative. It is made off.
Oh, okay. I thought we had to come ahead 30 feet.
Nope, he's got it made off. He's going to check the spot, make sure he's good, and if he's just working at his first line, we keep it right here.
You got it. All right. So I've got my starboard engine clutch ahead on 1, and I'm giving about 20 degrees of right wheel, so the spring line will hold the bow in, and that 20 degrees of rudder, and we're still coming off. So I'm going to give it hard right wheel to get the stern over, and then probably back it down to 20 degrees just so that we don't pull the bow off. There it is, starting to creep back in now. All right. This is what I'm looking at right here. You can see the pad right there. So he's giving me distances up there, and I'm looking straight down here. Now as it's coming in, I'll get my rudder here, bring it down to about 15 to 20. So then I'll go slamming into the pad. What I'm really
We come ahead about maybe a good 8 feet ahead of the spot where I'd like to be. If we can come back about a good 10 feet, we'll be right on it.
Okay, here we go. All right, so he wants us to back down. So I'm putting 2 astern just to get the movement going. But I'm watching the bow because I think that bow is going to fall off. Now that I've got movement, I go all stop. 6 feet. So we're just coasting now. 6 feet. I'm just putting 1 in gear just to kind of... 2 feet. Put 2 in...
Abreast of it now. We'll come back another couple feet, take up all your slack, and we'll come back in.
All right. Let me know when you want me to come in.
But he's making it fast now if you want to come ahead into that easy.
Coming ahead into it easy. All right, so I've clutched ahead 2. But once we start moving, I take my port engine out of gear. Just have the 2 in there just to stop the momentum astern. Now go all stop. Because remember, there's so much weight, even in an empty barge, that we can walk right through the lines if we leave the engine in gear. I'm all stop. Put my rudder hard over right again, so when I put it in gear, I'll close it up. Actually, I'll do that right now because I see the bow is falling in really quickly. So I'm doing a twist, a right-hand twist to slow the bow down and speed and hopefully get the stern to start moving over. Now I go all stop with my backing engine.
We're good on the spot and go ahead and get her tied up.
All right, great job, guys. Well, there you have it.
Great job to you for getting her in here.
All right, appreciate that. Through wind, sleet, rain, or snow. Isn't that what they say? And we're not delivering the mail, but I think they're going to be loading this barge with 2.4 million gallons of ethanol and headed for Port Everglades, Florida. But we won't be going there. We're getting ready to do our 5-year shipyard maintenance. And so because of that, later on this morning, we'll be handing this barge off to another tug that will be taking it to Florida. And we'll be spending the rest of our hitch up here, which is only like 4 more days of our hitch. We'll be doing with, work in the harbor. And hopefully I'll get you guys some, everybody likes to see the monkey.
Hey, Cap, can I get you to knock out a gear so we can get this line underneath the gear real quick?
Yeah, just when I'll stop. So, that should be more better, as we say in Puerto Rico. So, I'm going to put that back in. Can I come back into that line now?
1 second.
All right. But anyway, you've seen all the fun. All I have to do now is check out a traffic and break down, because we'll be handing this barge off to the other boat. And that will be that. So make sure you guys check out my other channel, SV Paquita. Please help me out with that. And if you get anything out of these videos, make sure you give us a like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. All right, can I come back into it? I don't know what these guys are doing. You know what? They're all tangled up in the snow. That's the problem.
Yeah, it looks like he's got it on there.
All right, cool. Here we go. Anyway, leave a comment. You can hit the super thanks if you want, but we'd love to have you on the Patreon team. So you guys take care, be safe, and as always, I'll see you on the water.